Happy Sunday night, everyone. What's going on? My God, I have missed you guys. I can't even remember the last time we went live together. I mean, when was the last time we saw each other? It was, let me see, let me check my notes. It was, God, when was that? Let me pull up my calendar and find out the last time that I was live with you guys, because it's been forever. It was 20 minutes ago, just 20 minutes ago. All right, so it hasn't been that long, I guess. What's up, guys? Welcome back. We just wrapped up the podcast. It went super long, over 2.5 hours on the podcast, which left us just about 20 minutes to kind of regroup and come back here for tonight's classic watch-along. So we're pulling a doubleheader tonight for Sunday night, and I have decided that we're going to do Starrcade 1996. We have never watched this one. Hulk Hogan versus Roddy Piper. I have a ton of memories of this and how it went down, especially when Piper first came to WCW. And how surprised and bummed out I was that WWE had lost yet another legend to the billionaire's wallet there in WCW, and Roddy Piper in late 96 after Halloween Havoc concluded that year. He showed up and confronted Hulk Hogan, and that led us to the big Starrcade main event from 1996, and the card looks pretty good. Now, I looked at this a few days ago. I've already forgotten some of the matches, but I just know when I looked at it, I was like, ooh, yeah, we got to do that one. Now, I know I've already explained this a bunch of times, so you guys know, but as you guys know, I originally had planned for us to do some YouTube WWE Vault channel watch-alongs for December, let you guys pick matches for us to watch throughout the whole month. But since we're losing the WWE library, at the end of the year, it's going to be leaving Peacock, and we currently don't have a new destination for that yet. I think it's a better option to postpone the Vault stuff until January. We're just going to do it then to allow us some time to figure out what we're going to do if the library doesn't land on any other platform, and we're going to limit ourselves probably to just whatever's available on YouTube for watch-alongs until that gets resolved. So it's probably best to take advantage of Peacock while we have it, and then in January we will move on to the Vault stuff. So sorry for... Oh, yeah, it's on subscribers only mode. Yes, I always have it on subscribers only mode. You have to subscribe to chat. Sometimes I screw up and put it on members only. We don't want that. Not members only, subscribers only. But yes, I do require you to be a subscriber to participate in the chat. That's how it works here. So that setting is normal, but everything else should be the same. So anyway, welcome back, guys. Thanks for being here again. I forgot the Sunday night game. It's Chiefs and somebody, right? So hopefully the Sunday night game will not distract you too much from Starrcade 1996, because that's what we're going to be watching tonight, Hogan and Piper. I'm excited to get on with this one, so let's not waste too much time with all the pleasantries, because we did a lot of that on the podcast today. Let's just get moving. You guys know the drill. We're going to watch over on Peacock. You want to go over to your Peacock. You want to find Starrcade Season 14, Episode 1. That's, of course, Starrcade 1996. The runtime, according to Peacock, is 2 hours, 45 minutes, and 35 seconds. And once we hit play together in just a couple of minutes, that timer right there will begin to run. So if you do have any advertisements or interruptions over on Peacock, you can sync back up with the timer to catch up with us. I have killed all the ads on this video, so this stream is presented commercial-free, so YouTube should not interrupt you over here. However, you may have some issues on Peacock, and that is what the timer is for. So hopefully you guys are over there pulling up your Starrcade right now. I'll let you guys do that and say hello to everybody in the chat, and then we will hit play together in just a second. Let's say hi to everyone who is here, like Mike Rouse, Melissa. We got Big Funds HC. I know, let me just check out your name again because I forget who that is. Brandon McNeil. That's right. Brandon McNeil. Good to see you, bro. Tatanani is here. We got Fox Star Killer dropping in 10. Thank you for all the great super chats today on the podcast. I damn near didn't have time. Oh, I didn't do it. Shit. Oops. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot I never put the super chat totals in. I thought I did. I can fix that in 2 seconds. But yeah, I barely had time to even input all these, and I just forgot to put them in the ticker, but I can fix that in 2 seconds flat here. We do not want to we don't want to read everything that I talked about today in the podcast. We want the super chats. There we go. There's our leader, Ryan Adams, right there. I had barely enough time to input all that from all the supers that came in on the podcast today. So thank you to everyone who participated there. And Fox Star has got 10 for us. currently on WrestleMania 14 in your viewing project. Finally out of that weird period where, except for WrestleMania and Revenge of the Taker, the WWF shows kept taking place before WCW ones. Yeah, in those years they kind of did. WCW had all the advantages back then. Well, I guess it's better to have them on before. I guess I never thought about that. I guess I never really realized that WWE shows came on before in those days, but they might have. But that's cool. So you're up to WrestleMania 14, so you're 98. Okay, you're going to have a fun summer. King of the Ring and SummerSlam, that's some fun shit, man. You got some fun stuff on your agenda. The next pay-per-view, which is Unforgiven, that's in Greensboro. I was there for that one. So you've got Unforgiven, then you got Over the Edge, then you got King of the Ring. Fully Loaded and SummerSlam are all solid. Year shits the bed at the end. Breakdown sucks. Judgment Day sucks. Survivor Series is good, but the Rock Bottom isn't even very good. So the WWE had a great beginning of or middle of 1998 with pay-per-views. That's for sure. Good luck watching that tonight. George Morris has got 5. Hey, Greg, how you doing? How is Tito and Elizabeth? Starrcade, 10 out of 10. Very sad about Larry the dog. My cat, Strudel, 11 years old. Be safe. Well, you still got some years left with Strudel, just like I have left with Tito. Elizabeth is doing good. She is rehabbing her knee. Surgery is going to be a few months off, but she's walking around now with a lighter brace, and she's even walking around a little bit without a brace. So she's doing really well, starting to get full range of motion back, and will probably return to work before she has her surgery. So she's actually doing really, really good. I'm very proud of her. She's been a fucking warrior through all of this. And she's being very patient with me today, streaming in our bedroom for 5 hours. So shout out to Elizabeth for making all of this possible for us today. But thank you for that, George. Good to see. I hate that you guys have your handles because I know who you are, but then Ray Fran. Okay, that's you, Ray. You're RGF91. We Are Pro Wrestling is in the house. Yes, big Starrcade here. This was a big one. And if I remember correctly, this is a non-title match, right? Hogan and Piper. Piper was like, I don't want a shot at the title. And then he got one in the next year. Weird stuff. Definitely a lot less shady than what would happen the following year in 97 with Sting. Let's see. We've got, it's Robert, the Juliet. Good to see you. Colin Wright's here as well. Mike Rouse, I think I got you. Vash Starwind up in here. I hate that your normal names aren't here because I know a lot of you by your other names, and then I feel like an idiot when I don't recognize you. Tomas is in the house to watch some Starrcade with us. That makes me happy. I'm almost never home for a watch-along. Glad I got to join for a bit. Good. Well, hang on. We'll get this thing started here so we can just get to the fun, stop jerking you guys around. Thank you, We Are Pro Wrestling. Netflix with a VPN gets you all the classic WWE pay-per-views, but not WCW or ECW. Huh, okay. The problem with that is I can get a VPN. I'm open to it now, but for watch-alongs, I want to make sure that the most amount of people can participate as possible because, yes, you might be able to find this stuff somewhere else, but not everybody has a VPN. I doubt every one of you in the chat has a VPN, but you might. That's why I'm like, I don't want, if you find it on some other platform or something, I'd rather have it somewhere where the majority of the fans are subscribed or know about it or know where to find it. That's why I'm hoping that the tape library lands right inside of here on YouTube where I live. That way it's all here for us, and it would be easy to do watch-alongs moving forward if it's on YouTube. But that's a good point there with the VPN. We're going to have to figure out alternatives if the library does not find a new home, like an official new home. We're going to have to do that. Jacob, I think I got you already. Michael Games, good to see you. And let me check out who this person is too. This is Andy. What's up, Andy? Good to see you. Appreciate the $5. This was the first pay-per-view I remember watching. Even my grandpa, less than a casual fan, came over to watch Piper versus Hogan. That's awesome. That is awesome. They had so much history by the time we got to 96 too. And Jacob, thank you so much for the 5. Random fact, I used to rent this VHS a bunch as a kid. I have vivid memories of watching this all the time at my dad's. I've probably only seen this pay-per-view once, if that. I've seen the main event, but I did not order the pay-per-view in 96 this year. I just don't have a memory of it, and I never had it. I don't have a recording of it in my archives, so I definitely never ordered it. But I also, at the time, I was a little bitter. I was a little bitter that now Piper was there, just one more added to the list, and Mr. Perfect was going to be not far behind him, kind of like Piper and Perfect left together basically at the same time, only Piper got to debut way earlier than Mr. Perfect did. But it was just kind of bumming me out. And I'm like, they're rehashing Hogan and Piper. They were feuding 12 years prior. So, a lot of the fans like me, these dinosaurs are still going at it. I was very anti this match. But looking back now, 29 years later, we should have saved this for next year and dubbed the 30th anniversary, but we're doing it this year. Looking back, this was actually a big match, and when you look at the card, it looks pretty good. So enough screwing around. Let's get started on Starrcade 1996. All right, well, you guys know what to do here. We're going to go 3, 2, 1 play is how we do it, and you guys know the drill. And once we do that, the timer will start to run. All right, let me just get my hands in position here. So awkward with there we go. There and there. Okay, I am ready to go. If you guys are on Starrcade 1996, let's rock. 3, 2, 1, play. Wow, I think I actually nailed it. Might be the most on point one I've ever done. All right, Hogan and Piper. Did I even open a beer yet? Yes, I did. Cheers, by the way. Yeah, Hogan never beat Piper back in the day, Piper protected himself. Yeah, Piper came out, I think that was Hogan and Savage, right? At Halloween Havoc in 96, and then Piper just came right out at the end of it. Wild. Texans Chiefs is the matchup. Thank you. Yeah, why was I looking? See, I'm still in podcast mode. I was looking at the chat over here earlier when I was saying hello to you guys, but now you're over here. I move you around. Podcasts, I look at the chat over here. Watch-alongs, I look at the chat over here. For those of you scoring behind the scenes at home. Maybe I'll make a making of good mic work stream on and put it on YouTube one night. Look at these three. Dusty, Schiavone, and Heenan. Got to reach way down, baby. The match of the century. I remember there's a story of Piper told a story of when he told Vince he was leaving. I think he called him. He was like, hey, I'm going to, because he hadn't been on TV for a while. He had the match with Goldust at WrestleMania, but that was kind of all he did after that. And he said that Vince told him on the phone, he goes, just tell me you love me. And then he goes, I love you, Vince. And that was how they parted ways. But Piper would come back. Piper came back to win the tag team titles with Ric Flair in the early 2000s or the mid 2000s, which was nuts. Okay, 9-belt match here. Ultimo Monet. Look at that title he's got in his left hand there. That's the Intercontinental title design. He's got 2 NWA titles there. A lot of these belts, if I remember correctly, were kind of created for him to win. What title is on the line here? Anything? All of them? Oh, yeah, all the belts are on the line. So this is 9 titles on the line, Ultimo Dragon versus Malenko. And that's what I was saying on the podcast today. This is the type of match I think they're going to do with Mercedes Moné. Like these fans, they're like, she's going to go lose them all to all these independent promotions. I'm like, stop smoking crack. It's so bad for you. That ain't going to happen. It's much more likely that something like this is going to happen with her. Man of 1,000 holds, which is 4 less than Chris Jericho knows, as we all know. Ramon Coffey, good to see you, bro. Oh, that's right. It's Ultimo's got 8, Malenko's got 1, so all the belts are on the line here. Jay Richter, what are my thoughts on Netflix acquiring Warner Brothers Discovery? I talked like for an hour about it. An hour ago. I'm just kidding. You obviously weren't here for the podcast. We just finished the podcast, and that was our top story. Talked all about it. By the way, the audio of today's podcast will be pushed out to the podcast feed after this show is over. I'll work on that later. I can't really do it. Well, I guess I could do it while I'm streaming, but I have to edit it a little bit, so it's kind of hard. Sonny Odo, a.k.a. the inventor of the selfie. He might be credited with it. You're so astute, Michael Tenay. You hope they bring back WWE brings back DVDs? Yeah. I mean, I really like how they've brought back the LJN figures. My P.O. box is on my channel. If any of you guys want to send me the Hogan one, I'd be down to put that on the shelf back here. And the Hogan one looks identical. I actually probably want to try to buy 2 Hogans, open one, and just see how it compares to the one that I still own from 1984, and put the other one on the shelf. But I don't ever buy like action figures or WWE merch, but I actually want a couple of those LJNs. They got the Logan Paul one, the Cena one, and the Hogan one. I don't know how many others, but the Hogan is the exact replica, like an exact replica. And I'm really curious too on those LJNs, the new ones, if you open them, if they smell the same. Nobody will know what I'm talking about unless you're over 40 years old, but there was a certain smell when you open those LJNs that was so unmistakable. Just the way the rubber smelled inside or whatever, and I would love to smell that again. As an adult. This fucking guy. I don't know why I'm not surprised that him and Bischoff were such good friends. Like, he seems like the type of personality Bischoff would like. Yes, Ramon, my figures are in storage. Probably 5 or 6 years ago, you can find it on my channel, I did a wrestling like collectibles and memorabilia video showing everything I had. It was done in my old apartment. Like all my magazines, my figures are in there, videos, DVDs, belts, all that shit. And I uploaded it, I think in 2020, because I was in my old apartment. But anyway, you'll see all my figures in that video wherever it is. These are some of my favorite parts about WCW, just on pay-per-views or Nitros. Just get a random Malenko versus Ultimo Dragon fucking banger. Oh, look at this. Devil's Kiss? Nope. I thought Malenko was about to learn his 1,001th hold. Or 1,000 first hold. 1,000 first hold. Why the fuck? I'm getting text messages from Capital One. I'm just making sure I don't have any fraud. I have 2 credit cards and my car loan through them. Yeah, I think we're okay. Well, then what do you want from me? I hate phones. Bobby Heenan. Oh, Juliet's back. She got notified she had a delivery on her doorstep. It's probably that blow-up sex doll you ordered. We all know how you are, Juliet. Don't be fronting. We don't judge. I won't think anything less of you. And look at her hooking up. TGA Gaming with a channel membership. Thank you for that, Juliet. Let me check your name, too, to make sure you're somebody I don't routinely know. Nope, TGA Gaming is your real name. Okay. Ugh. Just one thin blue mat out there on the concrete. Oh, there you go. Little flying headbutt. Oh, okay, Juliet. Guys, it was stuff for her mom. Am I big on banana bread? I do like banana bread. When I was a kid, my grandma used to make zucchini bread, and I loved it. But I fucking hate zucchini. So go figure. Yeah, I'll eat some banana bread. Jose, you got some for me? I'll eat it. Yeah, Ray and Jushin Liger. Yep. Also here. Michael Games, yes, Mercedes lost the Ring of Honor TV title Friday night. We talked about that today as well. We talked about everything today. My notes were huge. Crazy amount of stuff we discussed. TNA's deal, Netflix, Warner Brothers deal, Becky Lynch, allegations, John Cena lawsuits, John Cena on Rogan, news on Natty and Bailey and Gunther and Mox and the Freddie Prinze Jr., ESPN, WWE stuff. We talked about it all. The death of Larry. We talked about that. We opened with that. Dean just, no. I like how Malenko's got like the Kurt Angle hair, like before Kurt went bald. I never lost mine in front. Mine was kind of more in the back, like it was thinning out. But I had shaved my head so young that it wasn't even getting that thin. But I can tell now, like when I let my hair grow a little bit, that it's kind of like bald in the back. So I think if I would have let myself grow my hair out, and it would have been bald in the back. This Dusty Rose Dragon and Acai is the same thing. Death Throne right there. Dusty. I love when Dusty learns a fact from Mike Tenay. He's like, "Oh, for real? That's a hell of a fact there, Mike Tenay." The Ultimo Dragon. Barbara Hernandez. Who knows who Barbara Hernandez is? And it's not Barbara Hernandez. It's Barbara Hernandez. Richter, busy day for you. Hey, all good, bro, because I know what busy days are like. I had a busy-ass one yesterday. Mike Rouse, you were 25 in 96, which means you were older than me? Holy shit. I was 19. I was living in a 2-bedroom apartment with my buddy. Went to high school with him, worked with him, and we had a 2-bedroom apartment. And I know our rent was $340 because my half was $170. I think we paid $170 each per month for our 2-bedroom apartment. Full kid. The only thing we didn't have was a washer and dryer. But if I would have ordered Starrcade 96, that's the apartment I would have been watching it in. $170. The house I just moved out of was $5,000. Fucking $170 rent. I'd be so rich. We'd be all be rich if we could pay $170 rent. We'd all have enough money to rent out a theater and we could all watch the shit together in person. Set it off. I had a coworker. I briefly left the restaurant business for a year, managed this loan office. I hated it. I quit, went back to restaurants. But I was the manager of it, and the girl who worked for me, I went to high school with. And her name was Tamika, and I loved her. She was so great. Tamika Parker. And she was always talking about Set It Off. And she always had her accent. You haven't seen Set It Off? And I'm like, no, I haven't seen Set It Off. You should watch Set It Off. And so I brought her up to Elizabeth maybe like a year ago, and we watched Set It Off. Never saw it until like a year ago. But shout out to Tamika, who was always trying to get me to watch Set It Off. I was like, Tamika, I don't have time. I used to do, when I was doing wrestling tape trading, I used to get my shit sent to the office because a lot of times I would have big boxes of tapes that I would have sent to me, and I didn't want to risk them sending it to the apartment and something happening to them. So since I was always at the office all the time, I just had them mailed there. So she was there a lot when I had like boxes of tapes. What's all that? Porn. Mind your business, Tamika. Right, now that I never saw Don't Be a Menace to South Central, which I'm pretty sure was kind of like a Naked Gun spoof of Menace to Society or Menace to Society, right? Menace to Society I did see, but I didn't see Don't Be a Menace to South Central. If I did go to South Central, the last thing in the world I would be is a menace. I'm going to mind my P's and Q's if I'm in South Central. Nice handspring there. Why can't I remember this referee's name? It's driving me nuts. Oh, nice. Nice. God, I miss 1996. Look at the way the crowd reacted to that. Still can't make a lateral press. No. No. I don't like cruiserweight matches that end with power moves, like a power bomb or something. Scott Dickinson, thank you. Thank you. Wow, a jumping tombstone. Homeboy in the front row is just having a great time. Kicked out. I think it's a group. See, what I think it is, it's a group of buddies. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 dudes, all large, and they are marking out for everything. They got great seats for this one. Mm-hmm. No. To me, this was WCW at its peak. I mean, this is the opener. This is a cruiserweight match. Cruiserweight title on the line. Crowd, look at them. All of them are on their feet. Where, you know what I don't know? Is where the hell this show is. I don't recognize this arena. Looks like the same arena that It's Time was in the previous year, which was small, but I don't. That was like in Florida. Well, this is Nashville. Okay, this is Nashville. There's only 9,000 in attendance. 9,030. Buy rate 345,000. That's decent for that time, anyway. Nashville Municipal Auditorium. I didn't know that's okay. Acai moonsault. I have acai sorbet on my menu at the restaurant. It's actually not very good. I kind of want to change it to lemon or mango. Yeah, I never put that together. I never thought about it. It never even crossed my mind where Starrcade 96 was. Never thought about it in my life. Because a lot of shows, like, you kind of know the city they're in, some of the more famous pay-per-views, but I never knew. I never knew. I don't know where 97 was either. Where was 97? The Sting match. Oh, here we go. Texas Cloverleaf, baby. To step it over. That's it. Sonny Ono going to jump up. Yep, he's going to jump up on the apron. You knew that was coming. Just by the positioning of the referee alone. No. No, okay, phew. Okay, so DC held the next 4 Starrcades. Wow. Okay, so the last 2 were in Nashville here, and the next 4 were in D.C. Interesting. Okay. I never realized that Starrcade stayed put. Well, I can tell you a lot of cities that WWE pay-per-views are in, but very rarely do I remember where WCW shows were. Oh, Jesus. Got him. So Ultimo Dragon has won the Cruiserweight Championship, and he now has 9 belts. Which obviously means that he's calling his own shots, and he's telling Eric Bischoff that he's not going to lose. Because that's the only explanation of course, when somebody wins a lot of belts is that they have creative control. That's the only reason. There's no other reason other than that. Just creative control. And Ultimo Dragon being selfish. See how stupid that sounds? To all you anger boys out there. Fucking Sonny Ono. Oh, that was a real. I didn't see the stiffness of that kick until now. You guys see the curb stomp last night on Collision? Moxley curb stomping Takeshita on the apron. Jesus Christ, man! That you got to go look at if you haven't seen it. It's unworldly. All right, next contest, guys. WCW had a women's championship? Sonny Ono again? Oh, cool. Good to see Akira Hokuto on TV for the first time in a while. Kensuke Sasaki is there. I think that's Kensuke. Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, my God. Lee Marshall. Thagger Lee. Fucking Lee Marshall, man. Voice of Tony the Tiger in the old Frosted Flakes commercials. They're great. Look at Medusa. She's been in for about less than a year. Alundra Blaze. Medusa's got them tough hot ones are tough to resist, man. So is this for them the inaugural title or something? Are they crowning their new women's champion right here? Well, it's definitely going to be Medusa. Look how what I love about Medusa is just when she went back to being Medusa, how clearly different she was from Alundra Blaze. Just in her look, her demeanor, her body language, everything was different. She was stiff and robotic as Alundra Blaze. Here she's more like herself, leaning into her sex appeal. She was a good-looking woman. And they never really did anything with her like that in WWE. I think there's like a one bikini photo shoot she did with like Bret Hart and Razor or something. But, when she was in WCW previously, she was always out there in the evening gowns and everything. She was hot. And then Vince gets his hands on her and repackages her, gives her a stupid-ass name that's right up there with your Dolph Zigglers and your Roman Reigns and your Braun Breakers on just sheer stupidness. Alundra Blaze. Gives me a brainerism. Boy, Sonny Ono got changed real quick. He's out there in a little jacket. I don't even recall what the WCW women's title looked like what the physical belt itself looked like. I don't remember. I mean, a lot of this, because Hokuto wasn't in the company doing anything prior to Alundra coming in. So it's almost like, or to Medusa. So it's almost like they were doing the same thing here as they were doing in WWE, which is one of the reasons why I thought Medusa left the WWE, because she was the champion of a division that didn't exist. She was the only woman under contract to the company. and she was the champion. And then she would bring all of her friends in from Japan, like your Bull Nakanos, your Rhonda Singhs, who was Bertha Faye, your Aja Kong, and she just worked with all them. That was it. And so now it's kind of like the same thing here. Wait, they had a women's cruiserweight title? They did? No, they didn't. She's a bridge out of that. Yep, there you go. All right, so Medusa today is 61. She was born in 1964. This is so she's only 32? Holy shit. I was thinking she was maybe closer to 40 at this point, but she's not. She's 32. She's young. Wow, Medusa is only 32 years old here for this match. That is wild. Hubba hubba. Oh, they put the regular cruiserweight title. It wasn't the women's cruiserweight title. Oh, okay. You're talking about they would sometimes do that. WWE did that too. WWE had a light heavyweight title in the 80s they only used in Japan. So WCW did that for the women's cruiserweight title. That makes more sense because you have women over there to compete for that. But I was like, how would they have that in WCW? Because you barely had a women's division at all, much less room for two belts. Okay. Well, WWE did the same thing. They had belts that were only defended in Japan. Oh, I know Wade. Yeah, that's why I thought she was a little bit older because she has been around for so long, even by this point in 96. I kind of thought she'd be like 5-ish years older, but she's only 32 here. Actually, she's only 31. She's not even 32. She just turned 31. Oh, no, I'm sorry. She is 32. She's almost 33. Excuse me. I was wrong. Oh, the tornado DDT was botched. Nice recovery by Mad Dusa. Oh, man. Nothing worse than a Nick Patrick count. Just the weirdest cadence, weirdest vibe. He's the worst referee that has ever existed, ever. What were we trying to do there, ladies? Dusty, she came right on her. And they're like, yeah, she sure did, Dusty. Right on her ample top shelf is what I think Dusty was trying to say there. I like that Medusa is wearing her Lex Luger gear. Oh! Which is pretty much where the Medusa name came from, because she's not Medusa like M-E-D, she's a Medusa like M-A-D, like Made USA, Mad Dusa. So she always wore the stars and stripes. Come on, Sasaki. Help her out. Oh, God. Sonny Ono with the flag. Look how close he is to Nick Patrick, and this moron can't even see it. He can't tell. Oh, is she going to lose? I love this. Oof. Oh, nice driver. Jesus. Yeah, she beat her. Wow. Do they have a belt for Hokuto? Look at Nick Patrick with his earrings. 2 of them? Oh, he's the worst, isn't he? Isn't he just awful? Oh, I hate his face. I hate his hair. I hate his body. So do we not have a belt for this woman? And then Medusa gets whacked. I love how Patrick, what an idiot, doesn't see it. Nick Patrick looks like he should be managing a Texas Roadhouse or something. Just go do that. I love that they had no belt to give to her. She just won. She's the new champion. No belt. We never even got to see it. Yeah, so we cut off from that. Oh, look at DDP. Oh, wow, Mark Mann over there. DDP is still kind of like a heel here. Right? Pretty crazy that Mr. Healthy Guy over here is smoking a cigar. Mr. Yoga Man. Well, I guess you technically don't really inhale those, so they can't be that bad for you. Piper and Mean Gene. I thought Piper was going to go back to the long hair when he debuted at Halloween Havoc. His hair was real shaggy. I'm like, oh, he's going back to long hair Piper. I like long hair Piper. But then he cut it all back off. This match was way better than the stinker they'd have in 97. The cage match. I think Dusty was wrestling a little bit earlier than 77. So was Piper. They were both wrestling before I was born. I think they were both around maybe 74 or something. Nostalgic guy. Perhaps it was that I was a preteen in 96. No, so Nick Patrick was cool. That makes it worse. You mean to tell me a teenager thought Nick Patrick was cool? I think that's worse. Nostalgia. I hate to break it to you, but I actually think that's worse. You should look at him as a teenager and be like, okay, boomer, with your 2 earrings and your weird-looking count. Bobby Heenan, or Roddy Piper, hopping around on his one hip. He just mentioned a yarmulke. I think they were in the back and catering. They were out of coffee filters, so they just used a yarmulke. All right, this is going to be Rey Mysterio versus Jushin Thunder Liger. Let me go get a fresh, cold one for this match. How do I get out of here? What's the best way? This way. Here comes Rey. By the way, Elizabeth got me a apple pumpkin candle to light in here. I'm sure you guys can smell it. It's very wintry. Juliet, I didn't know Medusa was driving monster trucks. Good for her. I think Medusa's a little on the MAGA side, so I don't really give a shit about her, what she does currently, but boy, in 1996, she was hot, wasn't she? Holy crap. Is Rey going to be the only guy on this card who's still active? This is 30 years ago, man. And Rey is still very young at this point. I remember seeing Rey like in magazines for the first time, and I think when he was like 16. And I saw him in magazines a few times talking about how great he was, but all I saw was like, I mean, it's hard to tell in a magazine, but you could tell he was small. So I just thought he was just some phenom that's, you know, making a ton of noise in Mexico, but nobody who we're really going to see on any American TV. He's just too small. He weighs 90 goddamn pounds. Like, what the fuck can you do? And a little did I know that he would become, you know, in my mind, one of the greatest, most influential wrestlers possibly ever. I definitely think he's the most influential. And he's up there with the greatest of all time. You can definitely make a case for Rey Mysterio being a greatest of all time. Maybe 94, 95. I forgot. Maybe the first time I saw him in a magazine. Probably 94. And I had no idea that, oh, this is somebody you got to keep your eye on. He's going to come to the States and be a big deal. He just would have never even thought it. And then when he finally gets on TV, then we see him, and you're like, holy shit, he's fucking crazy. But still, even with his style and the way he did things and wrestled, he was as big as a fifth grader. Like, you're not going to win any titles, but he did. He won world titles. He won world championships at WrestleMania. He won Royal Rumbles. He did everything. And he's still going. Now he's got a son who isn't half bad either. Kid might have a future in front of him. That Dominic guy? Oh, yeah. Shout out to referee Mark Curtis. Brian Hildebrand passed away. God, probably more than 25 years ago now. I don't know when he died, 95 or 2000 probably. Or 99 or 2000.
These two men really were groundbreakers. What Liger first accomplished in the 1980s has honestly been taken to another level by Mysterio in this decade. But he's on the receiving end of that powerbomb. Yeah, we see a lot of the same maneuvers in this division.
Yeah, true. I mean, the credit goes to Eddie because it's Eddie's genetics that makes Dom so great. But Ray raised him, so you know he kind of views him as a father as well, even though he's not his real, legitimate, biological father the way Eddie is. You know, Ray still did raise Dominic and put a roof over his head, so he deserves a little bit of credit, even though he's a deadbeat now. You know, he back in the day he was a halfway decent father figure for Dominic. It's a shame that Ray turned out to be such a shitty dad in his old age. Nice. I always liked Liger because he was not small. Liger's not a small guy. He's 200 pounds. You know, Jushin Thunder Liger retired right before COVID hit. And I'll never forget the night after ceremony there they had for him was so crazy. Just how the Japanese audience differs from an American audience, and just the respect. And you had 5,000-6,000 people in that building, and you could have dropped a pin on the floor and still heard it. Like, just not a goddamn sound during his 10-bell tribute with him in the ring. My sister and brother-in-law are about to go to Japan here in a little bit, and I was like, next time you go, I want to go with you because I really want to take a trip to Japan. I'm fascinated with the culture over there. Oh. Yes, I am taller than you. I'm about 6'1", just under. Most of my life, I've been the designated get shit off the top shelf guy. That's been me. Because not only am I relatively tall, I mean, 6 feet is normally mostly average, but I think most people are below 6 feet. But not only do I have a decent amount of height, I have super long Gumby arms. So I have arms definitely, like they say your wingspan is the same thing as your height. I feel like my arm length is greater than my height. You know, I have arms, except my arms are a little bit more defined, but I have arms like Dominic. Dominic's got my long fucking stems. He's got them long arms, you know? Like, there's just so much arm going on there. I'm like, we can't get any arm shortening surgeries, so I think me and Dom are just stuck with our long arms, but we both got the long ones. His head is going. He's like, I think I'm giving up. I don't know. He's saying yes. No, he's saying no. Now it's yes again. Oh, yeah, I played a lot of basketball, James. I was quite good, too.
Tony Ray reminds me of great teams and great games and great athletes. When you got him, you got to reach way down, and you think you got him beat, just like the great Dallas Cowboys. When you think you got him beat, they are able to come back and do
tremendous things because they are the champion. If you've been champion before, you got to be beaten. You know what I'm saying? You're turning your head now because
Over the top is a cover. 1, 2,
you didn't
a 2
ask me.
count.
Like the great Dallas Cowboy, you didn't ask me. Well, I'll make a. I don't know. I'll make another
Ray's signaling for.
scenario. Yeah, okay, please.
To the ropes, up on top. And drop kick down.
That's all?
Super springboard drop.
He went like this, and then he just did a springboard dropkick, so I don't know what he was signaling for.
Pull back, pull back. We talked earlier.
Yeah, by the time I got to my senior year, I don't know if you'd call it, I like to tell people that I could dunk, but I could like just barely dunk. Like I could get the ball over the rim, and you know how like when you go up for a dunk, and if it's kind of a sloppy dunk, the ball kind of rattles around in the rim a little bit before it goes through. It's like that. Like I could, without the ball, I could jump up and hang on the rim, no problem. I could always jump up and grab it with a ball, and actually dunking, I would kind of like, I would hit the rim with the ball first, and I might have had one real dunk in my life, but for the most part, I could basically like almost dunk. But I consider myself, you lower that rim 1 inch, I can dunk. But to me, it was like close enough.
Weight advantage. He should be taking advantage of his size. He should be laying on the man. He should be making him kick out if he can. He should just be smothering him. He's got him here, it looks like. A 2 count, and once again.
But me, I had the entire basketball team, I remember too, like, they're all black guys, just me and them. And I had advanced PE in my senior year. It was my last period. And basically advanced PE was just me and the basketball team just playing around. And we had, gyms are huge. You have pockets of basketball hoops, with the games. And I would always be invited in, to the varsity game. It was really cool, like to have their respect. They would still kick my ass and everything. But, the fact that I was invited to the barbecue, so to speak, in that squad, I was like, maybe feel kind of good for a white boy. One of my friends, who played on the team, he was really good too, and he was like the star player, and he basically had access to the gym. They just let him go in anytime. And so I remember one day he was like, "Meet me up here on Saturday." He goes, "I come up here every Saturday and just work out and shit." He goes, "We'll do a free throw contest." And I met him up there just Saturday afternoon, just me and him, and we shot like 200 free throws each, and we kept score. And I was like 78% or something like that from the free throw line. He did win, obviously, but I was respectable. Bobby Heenan. Bobby Heenan trying to make heads and tails out of a Jushin Liger and Rey Mysterio match is pretty fun. Liger's been working this whole match by utilizing his power advantage and size. He's just muscled Rey down on a bunch of occasions. God. Like all that entire sequence right there with Rey Mysterio, wow, Jesus, is a really good example of how you become numb to that stuff. Like all that stuff that he just did right there is very typical in today's wrestling. It was not in 1996, and it was just still crazy, just still wild to get used to that type of offense and that style of wrestling. That even though the cruiserweight division would, shout out to Bill After, was kneeling down, was in full force by this point in 1996, my mind was still blown seeing shit like that. Took me a while to get used to it. Just planting him. What's he going for? West Coast pop? Yes, and he misses. He missed the West Coast pop. Wait, is West Coast pop the leg drop or is West Coast pop the splash? I actually don't know what the fuck the West Coast pop is. I know that's a headbutt. Mark Curtis showing us how close it was. Brian Hildebrand is the best. He's my number one example, my go-to example whenever the anger boys, it's always boys, whenever they complain about Aubrey Edwards. They want to sound smart and say, oh, the referee's taken away from the action. No, she isn't. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Shut up. You don't have to look any further than Mark Curtis. If you want to see an animated referee doing shit during matches, he does the same shit she does. And we all loved him for it. Nice. Oh! That was good. That was not a botch. I think that was intended. I think Liger hung onto the top. Ray missed the Rana, and then he came off with like a spinning heel. And if it was a botch, it was one of the best botch recoveries you'd ever see. And he beat him. Weird finish, though. Where is it? For the 9 belts. It only gets into the high 40s, low 50s for lows here, but my lips are still chapped. I don't know why. I could never survive. It's 62 degrees right now. I could never survive in Minnesota. My lips would fall off. All right, who wants a kiss? Jacob, I know you do. Yeah, and it was this pin was just a little wonky. It looked like Ray tried to kick out. Yeah. But didn't. Oh, dropping the dime was a splash. West Coast Pop was the jumping her and okay. Oh. I thought the West Coast Pop was a splash too. I thought the West Coast Pop came off the top rope, but not in the corner, like off the middle of the rope. West Coast Pop. I loved Benoit's theme. This is hard to look at, isn't it? It's just, it's been 18 years. And it's still, like, it just blows my mind that happened. It blows my mind that this great wrestler killed this woman and then killed his own son and then killed himself. I loved Benoit's WCW theme. Just loved it. And there's Nancy and Benoit. I mean, they seem happy back in those days. It was 9 years before it happened. Or no, 11, I'm sorry. 11 years before it happened. And Jeff Jarrett, who had come into the company earlier on in the year. I mean, he worked the Royal Rumble. And then he was gone. I know Jarrett's told the story, but I've already forgotten. I don't remember how he came. Like, he left in your house in 95, like, kind of left in a stink. And then came back for the December in your house and then worked the Rumble and then was gone right after that. So I don't remember what, number one, led to him walking out of the company in 95 and then being brought back and then walking out again. How was he able to do any of that? He must have been in a unique contract situation or something that allowed that flexibility for him. Just say, okay, I don't want to work here. I do. And you know what? Now I think I'm going to go to WCW. And then he'd go back to WWE. He'd be back there by the time you got to October of the next year. Showed up on Raw.
If traditionalized is okay, I guess history is okay too. He speaks Nashville. He speaks something. Now this is amazing because, like you said, Ric Flair endorsed Jeff Jarrett. Yes, he did. Ric Flair's a member of the Four Horsemen. Chris Benoit is a member of the Four Horsemen. Woman with the Horsemen. Now in the corner with Benoit. You saw WCW.
Oh, so these are both Horseman members at this point. I didn't realize that.
And his appearance on the scene is not appreciated by Benoit nor Steve McMichael. You also know last week that really the escapade, he's getting down on it. The escapades by Benoit were not taken too kindly.
No, Tomas, I was reaching for my chapstick. However, that is just a fabulous idea. But this is YouTube, and I'd rather not have that type of shit on YouTube. Because I like my channel, and I want to keep it. So we need to be responsible with that type of stuff.
People in the Dungeon Doom can't fight among themselves. People have to unify to make this work. Well, no, you're right. That's a great point, Ray. How about that? We slept the Prince ran out of his yak, came all the way from Paris, France also. That sure did. Yeah, that had a little fume on it. Benoit always has an edge to him, but even more so now. What?
I just said that. Yeah, the edge is that lady, the woman standing out there. Look at it. He's got a nail gun right.
34 in PA currently. Damn. I have family in Westchester, outside of Philly. I was the best man at a wedding in Scranton, which you talk about a town that must have a high suicide rate. Holy shit. The weekend I spent there. And I have another cousin who lives in Pittsburgh. I always loved going up to Philly. I loved it. Went to WrestleMania 15 there. When I did one thing I did like about Pennsylvania when I went up to Scranton, because I drove up there, I really did like the kind of the hills and mountains. Reminded me a lot of upstate New York. I did kind of like that. But the towns up there were just so small town and just like, what do you do there? What is there to do? Like, what do you do? I can't live somewhere where there's nothing to do. Nice drop to this. Come on, Benoit. Rip his head off. I should be rooting for Jarrett here. But as a fan, I always much preferred the ring work of Benoit. I mean, by miles over Jeff Jarrett. But that does not mean Jeff Jarrett was a bad wrestler. He was not. He was very good, very sound. He ought to be. It's like when you're a second or third generation wrestler who sucks, that's on you, man. You were given every opportunity. You literally get to start on second base and with no outs. And if you fail, that's just all on you. But Jeff didn't fail. Jeff made it. I don't recall the dynamic of the Horsemen. I remember when Jarrett was trying to get into the Horsemen. And I did think, oh, nice. And I did think at the time, good job, woman. I did think at the time that Jarrett would make a good Horseman. You know, he'd fit in there in terms of his already existing kind of persona and the bleach blonde and all that. He'd fit in good with Flair and whatnot. Damn, a warm -1 in Minnesota. 17. Jacob, oh, yeah, well, you're in Michigan. You're where I used to live, so I know what's going on with you. 36 in Virginia. Yeah, if I was living in North Carolina, it would probably be about the same. But here it's 62. But last night, when I was up late prepping the podcast, it got down to 48. 48. It's very cold. Very, very, very chilly. It's a good thing the power didn't go out. I'd probably freeze to death. My restaurant's mostly outdoors, and people are so dramatic. They'll come in. It's like 58 or 60 degrees outside. And they'll be like, please sit us somewhere that's not freezing. I'm like, well, nowhere is freezing. Freezing's 32 degrees Fahrenheit. We're nowhere near that. So dramatic. Freezing. Like, bitch, it's 61. What the fuck are you talking about? Nice. Woman, that's twice now. This match has been mostly Jarrett, by the way. And the 2 times that Benoit has secured the advantage, it's been due to woman. I just feel like Jarrett in most cases would be overmatched here, but I got a feeling he's going to win this. Tomas, thanks for the $2 thoughts on David Sammartino. What thought do you want other than he sucks? Like, what else do you need? What do you require, Tomas? He was shitty. But he didn't connect. He didn't even love the business. I don't even think he even cared, to be honest. He left the business by basically just breaking character in the middle of a match and just gave up and literally walked out of the business and never to be seen again. He sucked. As a kid, I didn't care about him, you know. I was too young to really remember Bruno, even though I knew who Bruno was, obviously. I was too young to remember his matches, and I wasn't born for a lot of his matches. So all I knew was the legend of Bruno, and so I didn't really care one way or the other when I was 8 if his kid made it or not. And on top of that, he kind of sucked. Or he really sucked. Preach, Dusty.
That's what he has to do. Piper's admitted he's 6'7". He admitted the man's 275 pounds, so he's aware of that. Take advantage of it.
Is Hogan really 6'7"? I never met Hulk Hogan. I never stood side by side. Saw him wrestle a couple times, but that was too far from the ring to see how fucking tall he was. I never met him. Never met Hogan. Kind of wish I would have, just so I would have the memory. But hey, at least I met Brett. It's all that matters. I can't because of the timer. I want to rewind and hear what Dusty just said. Something about leverage. I don't know what he said. Packers won 28-21 over the Bears. Okay, that's probably not good for the Lions, because I think Packers are a tougher opponent for them than the Bears would be. Bigger failed second-generation wrestler, We Are Pro Wrestling. David Sammartino, David Flair, or Eric Watts? I'd probably say David Sammartino, number 1. I'd go Eric Watts, number 2. And Flair, number 3. I think David Flair made it the farthest. I do. He had pay-per-view matches, multiple pay-per-view matches, involved in top storylines with top people, including the smoking hot Torrie Wilson. What the fuck did Techno Team 2000 ever do? No. I'm going David is the most successful, David Flair, with David Sammartino as the least successful and Eric Watts in the middle. Hey, buddy, you all right?
And you were looking at her, you say, that's the most beautiful woman I could lay my eyes on. But you hear that sound, you know she's devilish,
Hey,
devilish.
you okay?
Whip into the ropes on the right
Okay.
side.
Tito's being funny.
Jeff Jarrett almost
Are you all right?
up with a major win there.
You okay? I don't know if he was about to puke or what, but he had a very funny stance under the desk here. Oh, Lacey Von Erich's another good one. She's an idiot. Dumb as dirt. Hey. You okay?
Let's give credit where credit's due right here. Jeff Jarrett has taken just about everything from Chris Benoit.
Jeff Jarrett's the type of athlete don't only fight anybody, whether it be a giant or whether it be a Chris Benoit or no matter who it is. He's the guy that you're going to have to really pound down to beat.
He looks dizzy. I don't know what his problem is. You all right? I'll monitor him. He's just kind of standing there like he's wobbly or something. He's just kind of staring straight. Oh, nice drop kick. Not today.
Jeff Jarrett shooting Benoit right side again. Picks it.
Every match we've seen so far has had great wrestling action.
And this is, I mean, I hated to admit it as a fan, but it's true. WCW had better in-ring action during this time. WWE had some talented people. You had your Austins and your Michaels and your Harts and your Owens. But this is a tremendous match here. And these guys are kind of like physically at their peaks, you know, Jarrett and Benoit. Look at woman. Oh, she's nasty. It's no DQ. Oh, who's coming? Who's coming? Someone for woman, probably. Deborah? Oh, Arn is here. Deborah, what am I talking about? He walked past Benoit. Is he going to and side with Jarrett? Yeah, that's probably a better way to put it. WWE's main events were better, but WCW's mid-cards were eons ahead. Oh, no. Conan and Hugh Morris have got a hold of woman. Jesus, they got the... This is, like, violent. Oh, Sullivan's out there, too. Holy shit. Oh, no. Oh, DDT to Jeff. But Arn DDT Jarrett and then threw him in. Oh, Arn. Okay, I see. Arn was trying to help Benoit. He doesn't know that Benoit got hit with the chair. Now Arn and Woman have to sort this out. Give her a spine buster. She'll probably be fine with it.
All right, me and Gene is trying to get an interview right now. Gene?
Arn is not into talking. No, Gene, ain't nobody have time for you. Gene, their audio's all goofed here. Gene dissed 3 times. Oh, here's Deborah. I was about to say, Deborah's got to be nearby. She's here. Steve McMichael, white shirt and tanned pants. I'm not totally sure how I feel about that. I think you could have gone with a better choice. Well, I can't hear McMichael, so let me go grab another one. They got to figure out their audio issues here. Deborah, this is the Lord's Day. McMichael just did the backwards loser. He just did that. No, wait, that's right. He just did that. McMichael did the wrong loser. My favorite is in Dodgeball when the guy's wife goes like that and he goes, L for love. Deborah. Gene getting a kick out of it. Rode hard and put away wet. Classic. No nostalgic guy. Mongo was never on any other WWE pay-per-views, but he was on Raw a couple times leading up to WrestleMania, but I don't think he appeared. He was on WCW by the time they debuted on Nitro. Because it looked like he was going to kind of start feuding with Kama, with Godfather. They were doing that on Raw prior to WrestleMania 11. Maybe they had hopes that they would maybe sign him or whatever, but he went to WCW just like everybody else did. That was the place to be. That's where the money was being passed out. Vince couldn't compete. The playing field would have been much more even back then. Let's say if like Vince McMahon had Tony Khan money, and then it was Tony Khan's money versus the big, Ted Turner Corporation, then it would be different. Wrestlers were just going to go with whoever outbid them. Or whoever got offered the highest bid. That would have been an interesting dynamic. If Vince would have had, like, Tony Khan billionaire money. Like, just billions. And then WCW wouldn't have that advantage. Because the only reason WCW was better was because that's where everybody wanted to work. Because that's where the money was. All the top talent could go there and get paid. Vince couldn't pay that roster. Vince couldn't afford a fucking tenth of what that roster was making if you totaled it all up. So there was just, the playing field wasn't fair in that regard. That's what makes this era of competition, I think, a little bit better, is you have this big, huge power, this global powerhouse in TKO and WWE that is unstoppable and will be forever the number one promotion in the world and will never be knocked off that perch. But the competition, the number two, does have money behind it, to where one thing that will never happen to them is they will be outbid. They'll never be outbid. Anybody who chooses WWE over AEW is going to choose them because that's where they'd prefer to work. Everybody else is going to go with who pays you more. So if Tony Khan wants to pay you enough, he can. And so if Vince would have had that luxury in these days, imagine how different that would have been. That would have made things very different. And I argue that WCW would have never gotten out of, how the product looked in 1992. It just would have stayed that way. Because WWE they were more recognizable. Their shows were way better produced. And if you have enough money to attract all the talent, then WCW is not going to stand a chance. Love it. Hall and Nash as the tag team champions with 6 in between them. This is classic NWO days right here. I love that outsider shirt. I never got one, but I loved it. Nash still relatively young here. Had some good matches in 1996. He didn't have a terrible one with Taker at WrestleMania. It was actually halfway decent. That great match in Omaha with Shawn. Had good friends, better enemies. Who are they facing for the titles? The Dungeon of Doom? I don't think they're going to lose to the Dungeon of Doom. It was like Ming and Barbarian or something? It is Ming and Barbarian. Holy shit. So it's the Outsiders versus Ming and Barbarian, huh? Okay. You guys have no chance. Ming and Barbarian, they never won WCW Tag Team Gold, did they? The Barbarian had several runs in WWE and WCW. He obviously owned his name because he was Barbarian no matter where he went. He never held major gold in either of the two companies. I mean, he was in there as the Powers of Pain, and then he was single-star Barbarian. Then he also teamed with Haku in WWE. They had a WrestleMania match against the Rockers at WrestleMania 7, and then he came back in like 94 as a head shrinker. And all those renditions, never any gold. And same thing with WCW. And he was a good worker. He should have at least had a run with a WWE or WCW tag team title. Unless he won the tag team titles in like the early 90s in WCW, which I don't think he did, but maybe he did. But he never held a major title. Yeah, and we got a heel versus heel match here. Very odd matchup here. Not much of a history with these guys. I guess maybe Nash and Barbarian have a little bit of history. I have a feeling Nash and Barbarian were on opposite Survivor Series teams in 1994. I think. That's the only history I can think of here with these 4 dudes. I never saw Haku and Scott Hall mix it up. Yeah, X-Pac, that's right. Yeah, Sean Waltman, he'd be back in WWE in about, 3-4 months? He's about to get fired. No, that's not yet. That's another year from now. was about to say, that doesn't sound right. Not 97. No, so he's still pretty fresh. Sean Waltman just left. He left WWE like that summer or something. So he had only been in WCW for a short time here. So he'd hang around another year. And he wouldn't come back to WWE until 98. Oof. I got him flush. Don't feed him. I don't think Jimmy Hart can control whether or not Barbarian and Meng eat. What is Jimmy going to do to stop them to eat? They might just eat him. I met Barbarian. He's cool as shit. Met Scott Hall, too. Met Kevin Nash. I think I've met everybody except Meng and Jimmy Hart. I've seen Jimmy Hart, just never met Jimmy Hart. But I've seen his little ass. Oh, Chiefs doinked the field goal, huh? 10-0. Hey, hasn't there been a thing with the Chiefs? Haven't they been missing their field goals? Doesn't that guy suck or something? Good. I hate Harrison Butcher. Who's totally in the closet, by the way. There you go. Cheering for WCW as Meng and Barbarian were pounding Nash. I mean, everybody in this ring is pretty tough. I mean, Scott Hall is no... Oh, that didn't work. The previous year at the December pay-per-view, Nash is beating Owen Hart at that season's beatings with that great Brett and Bulldog match on it. Barbarian always threw his elbows like that. He would take one giant step to the side off the turnbuckle before delivering the elbow, which I never really saw anybody else do. He was doing that back in his Powers of Pain days. Nash with them forearms, man. They did not look good. They never did. Even as Diesel. Nash needed a better punch. He just threw that stupid elbow, which just looked like shit. Look at Ming getting him some of Scott Hall. That would be a good fight, actually, Ming versus Scott Hall in a shoot. Nice. Barbarian always had a great boot, too. A great big boot. You know, like he reminded me sort of like if the Powers of Pain were the Bulldogs, he was Dynamite. That's what Barbarian was like. He had a crispness and a snapness to a lot of his offense and stuff that I always liked.
All right, Ming is in. Any Ming. Fresh. Yeah. Fresh or not.
Yeah, I remember when they debuted him. I loved the Head Shrinkers when they kind of turned face there and teamed and got Captain Lou, and then they won the titles and shit. I liked that, but then Samu left or got fired, and so they phoned up Barbarian. Like, you want to come in and be a head shrinker? I'm just bummed out we missed out on a chance for him to be a head banger. I think that would have been more fun.
He took about 5 or 6 seconds to even get into position to count.
He circled the wagons, if I can use an old cliche. That's what he did. It's not going to work. You can pin him all day. Nick Patrick is not going to execute a three count with the NWO shoulder tap.
Well, I tell you what, let me give you something right here.
Yeah, and it was Sione when he was a head shrinker, so they finally renamed him, but he was always Barbarian. He's also in he's also in the movie Body Slam with Piper and Tonga Kid. He's in there. He's in that movie.
Because Nick Patrick ain't gonna do a damn thing to call this thing down the middle.
Excuse my French, baby.
I tell you, they have made some slow covers also. A one count. It's been a lot Patrick, but it's also been a lot of the face of fear. They have not gone for the 1, 2, 3 immediately, and they've had many opportunities.
Barbarian tag me.
Yeah, Bobby Heenan used to manage this tag team, by the way. Ming or Haku and Barbarian.
Yes, he is.
Every once in a while.
Picks him up, and where's he going to put him? Atomic drop, inverted one. Under the foot to the face. See, they're ragging him. And now there's a cover. Yeah. The wrong man is in, and that's a good call, believe it or not. Ming is the right man. Unless I miss something.
It doesn't matter to them. They don't understand that all the time. If one's in, one's in. If one's out, one's out. They don't understand that. They just Jimmy Hart can do.
They don't understand that.
And rag him and get him in a situation to get rid of him and rag the other one.
That's the way you have to do things sometimes. You have to do it.
I believe I understood that. Well, you know, yeah, you're right. You beat on one a long time and he can't move. Then you beat on the other one and he can't move. Then either one of them move.
I don't see Barbarian moving.
Pounding the apron. He has not been involved in this match at all.
Oh, yeah, I barely saw him over there. I see more of Jimmy Hart than I have Six. Yeah, go get Jimmy off there. There you go. X-Pac grabs Jimmy's microphone and then chases him away while yelling at him.
Six goes through that curtain by himself. He might not come back.
You're right about that.
You don't know what's on the other side of that curtain.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Nick Patrick would also be in the NWO, right? That's pretty fitting. Those earrings, man.
Here and now Nick Patrick checking. Scott Hall, see, this is what has to happen. It has to be some sort of nerve hold or something that would put a man out. Then what would happen? Nick Patrick would have to call the match over.
Those shoulders are down for an 8 count. He's got to count it. No, well,
He had the opportunity a while ago to count to 8.
Oh, yeah, but he took 7 seconds to get down. See?
Look at Nick Patrick.
I mean, that man's shoulders are flat there, and he hits 2. And
He's so awful.
he's got to count to 3 or expose himself for what he is then.
So put the hand up here.
Yeah, he's in the pocket, that's for sure. That's why he's got that long hair and them earrings. Because he thinks he's hot shit now. He's getting bonus NWO kickbacks.
Or check him to see if he's out.
He's just not checking him. Like, Scott Hall could die here. This match is over. And now Hall is miraculously coming too.
He never checked the man. But Scott Hall showing his attempt to 42 by putting the man down.
That was a nice move.
That was.
I guarantee it was now. He was down there long enough and nothing happened and he had to come back up. And he came back up when he hit his super back in the back, souffle. And now then they both down to her.
Did you say souffle?
Souffle.
Is that good?
That's
That's good.
good. Is that good? Dusty says souffle, and then Tony goes, "Did you say souffle?" And he goes, "Yeah. Is that good? That's good." I remember when I was a kid, my grandparents' next door neighbors had AWA connections. And I remember one of them saying souffle. And I remember like laughing. I'm like, that's not a souffle. It's what the fuck are you talking about?
You know who the legal man is? The Barbarian. What was he stomping about? Is he loading his foot or what?
He's getting that foot ready right now. Getting ready to take him loose.
Kicking in the head. Taking out. These illegal
Oh, missed.
to the midsection.
Jackknife. That's going to be it. What a surprise. The Outsiders retain the tag team titles as Nick Patrick points to the camera to ring the bell because that makes sense. But hey, at least we get the great NWO porn music, which is a delight to listen to.
Early in the match, they had problems with the referee. Bottom line is, I said, talent-wise, these two guys right here, the Outsiders, are as good as they come. But they got a lot of things going for them, guys. You know what I'm talking about.
Well, you're referring to Nick Patrick.
Among other things.
Well, they do have a lot going for him.
The NWO wins.
WCW World Tag Team Champions came in here, members of the NWO. Revolutionized, they say, the sport of professional wrestling along with Hogan and every member of the NWO. Well, they're standing there.
Yeah, let's get the replay.
See the big man from the outside of Nash throws in the barbarian, kicks him flush in the face, and covers him right here. Patrick going in position for the 1, 2, 3 count. Then comes in. Doesn't do that much good. But look at this power bomb. Look at this. There's a 300-some-pound man just
Yeah. I think Nash power bombed him because I think in '94 at Survivor Series he like wiped out the entire squad, and that's kind of what got him the title match against Mr. Bob. And I think he tombstoned Sione, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong on that. Might have been Samu. I forgot when Sione. I think it was '94 that late '94 he came in. Oh wow, look at this. Virgil, Ted DiBiase, and the unbelievable Miss Elizabeth. This is her MILF era. DiBiase and Hogan together was wild to me based on everything they went through 8 years earlier. With Ted trying to buy the title and hiring Andre to screw him and all that. Now they're friends. In their cold Campbell soup. That's what a unusual but great burn. Crying in your cold Campbell soup. The multi-million-dollar man. Sorry, camera. If you could just stay with Elizabeth, that would be preferable. Just stay with her if you don't mind. Thank you. I'm just looking at her. One of his snotty-nosed kids. Has Roddy Piper's kids ever paralyzed any other of their friends, Hogan? I'm just curious. Do you know off the top of your head? Is that a stat you have available in your memory? Any of his kids ever do that? I'll give you a second. What was the deal with Elizabeth? Why does she seem so annoyed with him? Was she being forced into the NWO or something? I mean, remember Elizabeth took off her itsy bitsy thing at SummerSlam to distract Ted DiBiase. Remember?
Today is Hollywood Day. To prove a point, to put the final period on my legacy, to show everybody, the people, the producers, everybody in the wrestling business, that I made this business, I'll make it tomorrow, and if it wasn't for me, the wrestling business wouldn't be on the map.
What a great heel, wasn't he? My God. So good. I didn't like Hogan as a person, but my God, was he so unbelievably aware of what you needed to do as a heel and a babyface. Oh, good. We get some a network edit of DDP, I think, here. I don't even think he was self-high-fiving yet, was he? Oh, this is the U.S. title tournament. Okay, I forgot why it was vacated. I just talked about this recently. We did our Eddie Guerrero 20th anniversary of his death video a couple weeks ago, and I talked about this match. God, that music is horrible. Oh, no, he's doing self-high-five. He's self-high-fiving. Okay. And here comes Eddie. This ought to be pretty good. I know who wins this because I just did research on this match not long ago. But it's good to see this era of Eddie. Getting a Starrcade match. Eddie wrestling at Starrcade in the mid-90s with Pyro. Hell yeah. Yeah, the DDP face turn was coming. That whole thing, and then he did the fake out with the NWO. That was great, and that really got him over. I'd like to see the brackets of this tournament. How did we get to Diamond Dallas Page and Eddie Guerrero in the finals here? Look at that mullet on Eddie. Yeah, that is Dominic's dad for sure. There's no mistaking that those two are father and son. You don't even need a DNA test. There's your proof right there. Jesus. So fast. Eddie's been on TV in WCW for a good amount of time by this point. He's getting in better shape, too. I remember WWE's counterpart December pay-per-view at this time would have been It's Time. It would have been In Your House. Those were 2 hours back then, and I know the main event was Brett and Sid for the title, in which Sid won. Shawn got involved in that. And then I'm also pretty sure that the fake Diesel and Razor Ramon, the fake outsiders, the insiders, that's what they should have called them. Why didn't they call them the insiders? Why did they do that? Anyway, the insiders... I think they got a shot against Owen and Davey for the tag team titles, and they lost. And I remember at the time thinking they might win them, and that we were going to have the outsiders in WCW as their tag champs and the insiders as WWF's tag champs. But luckily, sanity prevailed, and Owen and Bulldog won. And then the insiders were pretty much gone after that, after the Rumble. Oh, YouTube channel, WCW uploaded Starrcade 92 today. That's interesting. Have we watched that one? Love that move from Eddie.
So much riding on this thing, Tony. So much riding on it.
Oh, yeah, the Lethal Lottery. I'm looking at the... Oh, no, I don't think we watched this one. Interesting. It's one for the future, baby. Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that. DDP and Kevin Nash were the insiders. Okay, very funny, very funny. But it would have been more funny if the fake Razor and Diesel would have been the insiders. That's the way you did it.
They were outside tonight. Scalping ticket stream. Lined all the way around.
Or that's the way to do it. I mean,
General admission seats fans were clamoring to try to get the final general admission seats from the scalpers here tonight.
hear that, guys? They were clamoring to get the final seats from the scalpers tonight. Fucking putting over scalpers. Come on, Schiavone.
Not my problem. Shame on you. Dragon Twist. And back down to the attack again. Is the brain dropped out of sight here? Where is he going? The brain is working on his utilities over there. Okay.
He's working on his utilities.
Eddie. Again. Keep Dallas down. Got an arm twist. Dallas used the hair. Eddie nipped right back up.
Yeah, where is Bobby? Is he having a problem with his utilities? Is that what's going on there? He's got mic issues?
To the other. You know what I'm talking about? Dallas and Steve. And Eddie just moved out of the way. Sidestepped him that time.
Come on, Eddie. Go for it. Go for it.
Eddie waited. Guerrero on. Eddie Guerrero used his high-risk maneuvers, but of all the guys that use them, he is really one that really seems to have his set and mapped out. He very seldom misses them high-risk maneuvers.
I love Dusty's analytics. There's nothing better. It's chicken soup for the soul. Listening to Dusty break shit down. Love it.
Got him up now. Wow. How about that? By the chin and the seat of the pants. Yeah, and throat right across the top.
And throat. Don't forget about the throat.
Dallas, I'll tell you what, both these guys know what this is.
Oh. It's kind of like a pedigree. Half pedigree, half pile driver.
At numerous times, but Dallas got to get him softened up for the diamond cutter. For Eddie, this fight is a fight with a purpose. As I said in August, he did win the Battle Bowl ring.
Zane, I kind of agree. I didn't like the way the Battle Bowl card looked there when I briefly looked that up. I'm like, I don't know if that would be a fun one to watch.
And then Diamond went on to attack Chavo Jr.
We might get too bored talking about our favorite cookies or some shit.
Eddie then lost the return match to Diamond Dallas. Dallas kept the ring anyway.
Which I'm a classic chocolate chip guy.
Not only does he want to become United States champion, here's
I don't need anything fancy.
two, but Dream, he has a lot to prove for his entire family.
I was lucky enough to have 3 grandmothers, and all 3 of them had very distinctly different chocolate chip cookie recipes that were all equally good. I was a very lucky kid. They were all different. One was soft, one was crunchy, one was in the middle. They were awesome.
Yeah, all that stuff is good you were talking about. The important is now the bell's rung, and that's what I'm saying.
Shout out to Grandma Mary, Grandma Violet, and Grandma Celia.
I mean, it's
Delicious cookies.
yeah, you forget about but a lot of times, yeah, you take your emotion in. You take that emotion with you, and it helps you through. Well, you telling me Papa ain't emotional? I guarantee it. And if you were to ask
I mean, DDP here, he's got to be like in his late 30s by this point. Because he got a late start. DDP kind of got a late start in the same way like Batista did. So he just aged quicker. So he's 69 now. He was born in 56. So he was 40. He was 40 here. Wow, he was almost 41 by the time his push finally got going. He was 41. Didn't win the title until he was 43. Right? Because I feel like he didn't win the title until like 99, which would have made him 43. Colin, no. Raisins are evil. I think raisins are one of the more disgusting things that human beings have ever produced. I absolutely despise raisins with every ounce of my being. They're nasty. I don't want them in anything. I don't want them near me. I don't want to be in the same room as raisins. Fuck them. Fuck raisins. Keep them out of my cookies, out of my cakes. Keep them out of my face. They taste like boogers. I don't like them. Nope. Fuck raisins.
He knew he was in the ring, but he didn't know what Eddie Guerrero was. That's a mistake.
2 count, got a swinging neck breaker, and Dallas showing a little frustration now.
Yeah, you can't make mistakes with so much.
Wow, the Savage match at Spring Stampede was a day after DDP's 41st birthday. That was a match. That was a pay-per-view I actually did order. And I don't even remember why. Sometimes I would just randomly order them. I remember at the time, if I was home and I didn't have a date or anything, I have nothing else to do, and I was just at home picking my butt, and there happened to be a WCW show on, I would usually probably order it. That's probably why the ones that I did order are so strange. And I'm like, why did I get that one? It was probably because I was home with nothing to do. And so I was like, you know what? Let's spend $40 I don't have to watch a WCW show.
All Dallas has to do is turn his hands so the palm faces the rope, take about a half step back, boom, you got the bottom rope.
Because back then you didn't pay. Then it just got put on your bill.
And the referee saw that.
So sometimes I'm like, yeah, I'll order it. And when the bill came, I'm like, ah, fuck. Why did I do that? Especially if the show sucked. Then you get the bill later and you have to pay for a show that you hated. Happened a bunch of times to me.
Eddie would win the match, and Diamond doesn't want that.
Yeah, they're gonna be a winner here.
That's right, there's going to be a winner. Someone's going to walk away with the U.S. title.
Well,
I don't think he's tall enough to keep that hold on him.
he's not, and that's what happened. You're right. That's a good call, Bray, because he was not right.
2. Got him 2, can't roll him up. He ducked the clothesline.
Oh, did he nail him? Oh, now go for him. Go for him right now. He's behind you. Wake up. Shake the cobweb.
But he's got a showboat. Forget it. He's got a showboat, and what a count on a great year with
Zane, much like Undertaker and cucumbers. I think it's a little different because I don't have a phobia against raisins. I'm more like I'm racist against raisins. Like I hate them, but I'm not scared of them. Where I think Undertaker was like fearful for some reason of cucumbers. I just like have a deep hatred for raisins. I just hate them. I hate them. I'd perform hate crimes on raisins. I just smash them and run them over with my car. That's how bad I hate them.
Too. I mean, really hit that thing hard. Moved the whole ring. Eddie now got to regroup himself here and get himself back together. What a victory for the Guerreros family and everybody this would be. This young man right here.
what a win that would be for Diamond Dallas.
Oh, yeah, it would.
Leg sweep on the back of his head.
Yeah, that might have knocked him dizzy.
My goodness, what a tremendous sweep it was, Guerrero.
Got nothing on those punches.
Yeah, now exactly, Wade. Because when I buy pay-per-view now, like buy AEW show on Max, you just pay right there. Use your credit card or whatever. But back in those days, you would order the pay-per-view and then the bill would come. But you wouldn't be able to you'd have to pay your bill before you'd order the next one. Like you couldn't, you couldn't have like a past due balance. That's I think what the rule was. Like you couldn't have anything past due, or it wouldn't let you order it. So that was one thing I always had to make sure. And back in those days when I was broke and I made good okay money, but I was young. I was poor with my money. I didn't manage it well. So sometimes things were hard to pay. But one thing I always had to make sure that was paid was my cable bill, just so I would never risk missing a show. And I never did.
Bottom line, there was a line drawn. You're either with the NWO or you're with WCW. And I guarantee you, this ball will
Oh, wow. He missed the Guerrero frog splash. He damn near made it to the other side of the ring.
As Dallas was rolling towards him, the knee, I believe, hit the back of the head of Dallas. And Eddie's hurt.
Oh, yeah, Juliet. I had the little claymation California raisins. I had a little, set of them. Little figures. They were like this big. Those things were everywhere in the late 80s.
he could have put him away if he hadn't have been, as the brain so abruptly said, nonchalant.
No, didn't get it again.
He got him bent over, Brain. He got him hooked up and bent over.
You got him hooked up and bent over.
How bad do I want this? How bad do I want to be United States champion? Now, reach down, turn it up a few degrees. Let's see what you got, Diamond Dallas. Show us your championship material and take Eddie Guerrero out. That's what he's going to do right now. Put on the diamond cutter. Put it on him.
Going to the top instead of going for the diamond cutter? Oh, wow. Look at him hop up there. Smart by Eddie.
He paid for that one, boys and girls. And Dallas just begging off of Eddie right there, but Eddie to the attack again.
Yeah, and he's begging in the high voice.
Dallas is awful big for this move.
Wow. Oh, nice. Counter that into an inverted. Is he going to get the pin with that? In a small package? Inside cradle? No.
Well, you got to take your head off the diamond, Dallas. You even kick out of a move like this.
Backslide. Let's beat him with a backslide. Nope.
And there's frustration on Eddie Guerrero.
He can't get frustrated right now. He got to stay in his game plan and go for it. He had it will.
Diamond cutter by Eddie Guerrero. By 1, 2.
No.
Oh boy, you talking about combating the diamond cutter? He did that time. Dallas was going for it.
Well, this is a good one, guys. I guarantee it.
They are plugging it out there.
We're going to crown a winner here.
Eddie.
Jeez.
1, 2. No. No.
How much more?
Can these two take?
Thank you. You guys can finish your own sentences.
Well, I mean, this is the finals of the U.S. tournament, guys, so Shivani's almost surprised how into it Bobby and Dusty are.
Combated it the last time. Diamond sends him in.
You walk right back into him, though, with his head on the shoulder blades. Eddie, sit outside. Thing ain't working right here, right? Dallas got to be right here.
Somebody's coming. Oh, it's the whole NWO.
These are the men who helped Diamond Dallas advance to this championship match.
Oh, that's right, because this is all... Oh, are they going to turn on him here?
Wait a minute.
What it looks like to me is they're going to go ahead and put him away because he turned them down.
Razor's Edge to DDP. Oh, yeah, because he turned him down. Okay, so he is really on the cusp of the face turn. So then right after this is probably the segment where he had like the NWO shirt on, and then he turned and diamond cuttered Scott Hall, and the crowd just went berserk for it. Yeah, Frog Splash FTW. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Eddie. Big win for Guerrero. Yeah, Eddie would never cheat. So the next month then will be sold out, right? And I think it's Eddie and Six in a ladder match, right? So maybe that's why they helped him, is because now they can get Six a title match. Oh, look at Eddie. Look at Eddie. Wow, look at Nash bumping for Eddie. Okay. Oh, he used the same move on X-Pac there, or Six. Damn, Eddie is fighting off all members of the NWO and doing a good job. Look at him. Look at this. Look at him go. Eddie's like, fight all you motherfuckers. Oh, now they got him. All right, so this must be how it leads to Six and Eddie at Sold Out. Damn, Eddie almost took out the entire backbone of the NWO by himself. Yeah, Eddie was not messing around in that. Oh, see, now he's got the belt? Oh, no, he's got his own cruiserweight. Or no, what belt does he have? Yeah, he's got the cruiserweight. Then what fucking belt was Ultimo Dragon and Dean Malenko for? Tennessee.
Let me say this. I said
Oh. Oh, yeah, there's yellow liquid in the ring. What the hell? Banana juice? Luger and Giant next. I was wondering, they're playing the NWO music, but I'm like, who's coming out? Or is it still the remnants of the Outsiders? Now, Giant has joined the NWO by this point, right? It was weird when he joined the NWO. And here comes Luger. Called the WWF Superstar line for all the scoops and the Ross Report, which is, I think, was option 2 or some shit on the Superstar line. And this is the song they played whenever they would promote it. Now, everybody that he was in WWE with a couple years earlier, they're all here with him. Luger was basically the first. Well, I guess he wasn't the first. A lot of WWE guys were in WCW, but when Nitro started, he was the first one. And then Hall and Nash. X-Pac, DiBiase. They're all here now. The match of a lifetime. Hogan and Piper, a couple of guys with artificial hips. They're putting it over. Yeah, WCW's was 1-900-909-9900. WWF's was 1-900. It was like 747-4 WWF or something like that. 747-757, something like that. Luger is so just lean. He's like, like when you see those, like you're in the doctor and you see the poster of like the human body without the skin. It's just the muscles. That's like Luger. Yeah, Shivani's saying the same thing. I'm like, you can literally see every muscle in his body and the detail of it. He's chiseled in stone, baby. All right, what time is it? All right, not bad. Still early here in San Diego. So me and Elizabeth just started watching this show. It was on HBO like 20 years ago. I had never seen it before. I always heard it was good. It's called Entourage. Entourage. Have you ever heard of Entourage? It's about this guy. His name is Turtle. And he's got like these 3 friends with him. One of them's like a famous actor. He's super rich. Jeremy Piven's in it as like the agent of the friend. But the show centers around Turtle and his adventures with his friends in L.A. It's really, really good. Apparently ran for like 8 seasons, and there's a movie, Entourage. I'm loving it. I'm loving it so far. I'm on season 4 of Entourage. Turtle's great. He's so funny. Glad they made a show about him.
Thank goodness for the corner. That's the only thing that's keeping the Giant up right now.
Measured him again. Yes, sir. Yeah, the Giant pushing him, then pushing, then it hurt Luger. Now, not at all. Yeah, you know what I mean? Now, these punches are hurting the Giant. Now, that is hurting Luger.
And that is a good example of the quickness of the Giant.
Giant in these days was still quick. That was what was so fun to watch him in these days. I enjoyed the Giant in the ring so much more than the Big Show. He was doing crazy shit. He was nipping up. He'd jump off the top rope. He was throwing drop kicks. He was impressive when he was young. Yeah, Turtle is the best. He's just a sweetheart. I just love Turtle. What a great main character. He's chiseled. He's cut, baby.
The Giant remained in the ring. You talked earlier about the friendship of Sting that Luger had won.
I know the other guy, Eric. I actually had a friend back in North Carolina who was also named Eric, also named or nicknamed E, and also looked exactly like that guy, like a dead ringer, which is really eerie when I watch it. But also that actor, he hit a little bit spot on Wings. I remember he came in as for like one episode on Wings back in the day.
Position to where he is almost immobile to get him up there.
Well, Monday night, it took him about 2 minutes to wear him down. When the Giant came in the ring,
Well, back in the day, though, Doug Unfunny, like in the 60s or early 70s, Andre could do those things. He was, if you look up early Andre matches, the way he would fly around that ring would blow your mind. It was incredible, like how he would just move around. I think he was arguably as quick, if not quicker, than the Giant here. He was a lot leaner, too. He was more tall and skinny than he was big and fat, and he could run around that ring. It would trip you out almost. I wish I had exact matches I could pinpoint you. Just look up like earliest Andre matches, and you'll see what I'm talking about, like how fast he was.
That was a hit. The Giant has to remember this, that he has been up and down. Did you guys hear that hit? I heard that hit. I heard that hit.
You think we're sitting in Knoxville somewhere? I mean, he laid him out, boy. I'm telling you, you can't hear a lick on television.
If you put down that big truck with those 3 X's on it, you'd have heard that hit too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm trying to get right.
It'll get you right now to say all night.
the foot to the chin, to the jaw on Luger. Now the Giant feeling that victory could be moments away.
Winning a surf contest in Arizona. What's he surfing? Colorado River?
You know, he's been working on Luger's back. He wants to make sure, no way is he going to get put up in that torture rack by Lex Luger.
Exactly.
This is an NWO plan.
I didn't like Lex Luger's grunts either.
Yeah, the whole crew. Yeah, but this guy's in there. He's in there right now by himself, so he's got to execute that plan and do the right
Yeah, Luger was a little bit on the vocal side.
these things happen. Man, I'm gonna tell you, he's loud. Yes, he is.
Well, a guy 7'4",
Does it hurt? Kinda.
And you check the breath on him.
never been that close to him. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I think the reason they didn't, Victor, I mean, I don't think that they necessarily wanted to put the title on Piper, but they wanted to beat Hogan. So I think that's why they did the story that Piper doesn't want the title. Remember he denied it or declined the title shot? At first, he was like, no, thank you or whatever. And I'm pretty sure they just convinced him to wrestle for personal reasons and that it still wasn't for the title. But like, it makes no sense for it not to be for the title. Like Piper, as much as he hates Hogan, should want to take everything from Hogan. So even if he doesn't want the title, he should still want it to be for the title. And then he could just forfeit it and give it back to the company and let them do what they want with it, as long as Hogan doesn't have it. So it was just weird that how they tried to claim that he didn't want the title shot or whatever. After then he would wind up getting a title shot. And if I remember correctly, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think the next night on Nitro, Hogan just pretends like the match didn't happen or something. Like I don't think they can play it. Like this is, I could be wrong because I'm going only by memory here, 29 years ago. But like, I think they like confiscated the footage or whatever. And so they couldn't show the replay of the match. And then Hogan cut a promo like as if the match never happened. I think that's how they tried to do it. They might have even said that he won. He might even be like, I beat Piper last night. Nobody can prove me otherwise. The footage is destroyed. I could be wrong about that. Feels like that's the way I remember it. Oh, no. Giant's hung up there. Yeah, that's the only way you're going to rack the Giant is probably get him up in the corner already. Trying to deadlift that. All right, Chiefs down 3, third quarter. Jesus, Giant, be careful, bro. He just drop kicked the ropes. Because he can. I love that little Mark Curtis is reffing this. See, look at Mark Curtis. He's throwing punches. Look at him. Aubrey Edwards does this. Little bitch boys lose their shit over it. Like, none of you little losers know what the fuck you're talking about. Boom. Oh. Rude Awakening. There you go. The crowd is up for that. Holy crap. Oh, I guess that counts as a ref bump. Luger landed on him. Poor little Hildebrand. 265-pound wrestler just lands on you. And here comes, here comes Nick Patrick, and Luger slams the Giant. He's already signaled the rack attack. Look at Nick sneaking in there like the sneaky fuck that he is. Nick's there to clip him. Here's Sting. Okay, this is becoming a mess. Patrick got knocked out. Jesus, that's got to be so hard to do. Oh, and there's 6. I love that Luger, when he left WWE and debuted on Nitro, he said he was sick and tired of playing with little kids. Sick and tired of playing with little kids. He was talking about the 1, 2, 3 kid who he's now playing with as 6. Well, yeah, Nick Patrick, if you're going to wear earrings, you should expect somebody to want to assault you with a baseball bat. What's he saying to them? No, the ball. Really? They were Giant and Sting or Giant and Luger were teaming just about a month after this? That's crazy. Oh, yeah, because probably the NWO would kick the Giant out, right? Yeah. Oh. Low blow. Oh. Come on, Mark Curtis. He's back. Such a much better count than Nick Patrick. Mark Curtis is the best. Crowd goes nuts. One thing that WCW had over WWE that I could recognize from living in North Carolina is they had the edge in like the rural towns, like especially the South. You know, it was WCW. You know, like if people were going to watch wrestling with friends on a Monday night, they were going to watch Nitro, not Raw, in 1996 and 1997 probably. Wasn't until 1998 that made the switch. But in these years. NWO was still the coolest thing going. Austin wasn't yet. He was getting there, but he wasn't yet. Yeah, see? They're all gone. Okay, so that's what they're kind of saying, that the NWO wasn't there for him. They just left him out there to fend for himself. All he had was Nick Patrick. But he still had Nick Patrick, and he had 6. But I guess they're saying it should have been Hogan or the Outsiders. And look at him. Kicks him. Oh. It's a very dangerous spot. You got to be careful doing that. There you go. Yeah, and they really were. It was like that. WCW was South, and for good reason, because they still had a lot of connection to the NWA. Flair was still there. The Horsemen were still there. You know, you had a 4 Horsemen faction in 1996. You know, and you had one in 1986. You know, so the fans were still there. A lot of them were still there. So those southern states and stuff, I saw that firsthand, and that's an edge that WCW had because they still had that link to what those fans remembered years ago. So you had nostalgia combined with, you know, the modern coolness of the NWO. It was a really good recipe for them. And you still had that connection, that link to the past with people like Flair and Arn and guys like that. It might be. It might be the match of the century, guys. That's what Michael Buffer is saying anyway. Who's to doubt the Buff? Buff, I don't even know if I'm ready, to be honest. The astronomical amount of money he got paid for every appearance for this was just nuts. And even something that's a small little detail that I thought was cool about WCW is they brought him in for their main events. This is somebody his voice is well known from boxing, and it legitimized what they were doing. Even though WWE's, main events in the ring were better at this time, the big match feel was bigger over here in WCW. And a lot of that was because of Buffer and a lot of the names involved in these main events. This is Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper. The top babyface and top heel of the 80s. Look at him dancing around. And Roddy Piper, he never won a world championship. And this was his opportunity. He could have right here. I'm surprised, actually, that when they brought him in, they didn't give him the title and just have Hogan win it back from him. I would have almost preferred that. I would have thought Roddy Piper as a world champion. It would have been cool if they did that. Because when they brought him into WWE, all he did was work with Lawler, and then a couple years later, he was brought in to be a replacement for Razor Ramon in the Goldust backlot bullshit. WCW, I never thought Piper wanted to wrestle full time again, but he was back to the point where he was wrestling every week on Nitro, routinely, a full time roster member, house shows and everything. I thought Piper was so far beyond that by the time we got to the mid 90s. I thought he was already retired. Quasi-retired, but he was back full-time. There's Hogan abusing Miss Elizabeth again. I love WWE's version of the bagpipes, the theme that Piper had in WWE. They would kind of change it to this one, I think, or one similar to it when he came back in 2003, but when he was there in the 90s and 80s, that theme that he used, I liked. Piper and Hogan. I remember thinking the days of these guys ever being in the same place or ring again together was so long gone. And this is one of the first times it made me realize that the business will never cease to amaze me, because I never thought Hogan and Piper would ever find themselves doing anything wrestling related together again. And here they are in the ring in a pay-per-view main event, a big one, and they'd be in the ring several times after this at a couple more pay-per-view main events. And then when that was done, when Piper comes back to the WWE in 2003, and then a year or two later, whenever it was, he wins or maybe 3 years later, something like that, he wins the tag team titles with Ric Flair in 2006 or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm just blown away. Look at this, and I love that, Piper and Virgil. Remember that I taught you how to fight. Piper was so instrumental in Virgil breaking from $1 Million Man, and here he's and they're back together, $1 Million Man and Virgil again. And now Hogan's on their team. Just thinking about what all these guys did in WWE and how they're all paired off now as heels and babyfaces was just crazy to me as a fan. They should, they might have. They should have done a match. I'm surprised they didn't. Did they ever do a Piper and Vincent match in WCW? Just have Piper go out there and squash him on Nitro or anything? I would have done that.
probably. We're going to have fights on the floor, I would assume. But Piper realizes that he has to.
Well, right now,
If anybody hasn't done a thumbs up smash, that could help. Thanks. Since it's main event time. Pee Wee Anderson's going to be our referee for this thing. This camera angle has had a faded corner all night long. There you go. It might's kind of going away now.
I think Hogan wants to get him upset. Hogan realized this does not hurt Piper. Piper said in his interview, I'll fight, I'll keep coming, I'll keep coming. So Hogan knows a slap's not going to hurt him.
And I said, if you knock me out, wake me up. I'm going to continue to fight.
that's dead in his eyes, though, boys.
Hogan's got the advantage again. The chant of Roddy resonates with you.
Look at him go. And there he goes. Yeah, Heenan being on Piper's side is pretty wild. There you go. Just pat Anderson on the head.
But I think Piper realizes here, rightfully so, that if Hogan wants to prove who the better icon is, he has to get in the ring.
When Piper fired him, Tony, and sent him reeling, he knew.
And sent him reeling.
And you start to gain it like that. The more you fight, the more you score a touchdown or hit a home run like he just did. You get 2 or 3 of them, and you get to thinking you're going to beat this guy bad. You know what I mean? You get to thinking, I'm going to top this game. That's when you're at your best. So that's why he can't go out and get him and try to bring him back in. He's got to stay right there with him. Rally on him again.
Oh, did you spit on Hogan? Piper likes to spit on people. He spit on Brett at WrestleMania 8. Which I just forgave him for last year. Took me that long.
Let's not discount the fact we may not like him. He may have turned his back on everything that wrestling means in this world, but you can't deny the abilities of Hulk Hogan.
All right, so this is 96. So Piper would be 42. He's only 42. Piper would have, or Hogan would have been 43. So Hogan's 43, Piper's 42 here for this match. They're both 5 years younger than me. 5+ years younger than me. And at the time, I was calling these guys dinosaurs. Old men. Crusty fucks. Things like that. That's what I was calling them. And they're 5 years younger than I am right now. I don't like what's happening. Did he? Did Piper spit on Austin at WrestleMania 21? He did? Jesus. Maybe he did. I guess I forgot. I know he slapped him. I know he spit on him. Holy crap. How am I older than these guys? I still feel like I feel pretty young. Piper's kind of like me. There's a weird thing that's happening when you get older. You can somehow kind of have a belly that sticks out just a little bit, but still have abs on that belly. And I'm going through that. Mine are kind of doing that a little bit. But Piper's got great abs, but he also looks like he has a gut at the same time. I mean, it's a weird phenomenon. I remember when Piper came back in '94 and worked with Lawler at the King of the Ring, and I remember being really impressed with his abs because he never really had those abs when he was in the company before. He just really gotten himself in good shape. And now that I've gotten older, I see how that's kind of possible now. I'm like, oh, yeah. But I was fascinated. I'm like, damn, he looks different. I was like, he's got like a six-pack on him. If you need any laundry done, go to Piper's house. Yeah, the way people age looks so different. Look at like college football players from the 1970s and 1960s. They all look like they're 50. It's crazy. And they're like 18. They all look like Arn Anderson. Did Piper just throw an enziguri? An enziguri by Piper. Nope, he's going after Hulk. Oh, hello, Tito. He's sticking his little head through. I'll move the candle so you can come up here, buddy. Hi. How you doing? Just in time for the main event. Piper's whipping Hogan with the belt. Oh, that's the belt from his kilt. I'm like, where'd he get a belt from? Here's his tail. I can't even get it. Oh, there it is. Here's his tail. And his face. Hey, buddy. Oh, he's choking him with it. Nice. What pay-per-view is it? Is it the Halloween? I think is it the Halloween Havoc cage match that sucks? What's the one where Piper hangs around Alcatraz or whatever for like a couple weeks? What match is he preparing for there? I thought it was a Hogan match. Or is it Super Brawl? Is it Super Brawl? Something I've noticed about Piper ever since his early WWF days, if he's going to get hit from behind or attacked, he really telegraphs it. Like in that spot there, like he's going to get hit from behind by Hogan, and he starts bracing for the impact way too early. He's like blinking his eyes real fast, and he does that a lot. Some guys just stay there limp and just let themselves get plowed down. But Piper always like is anticipating it. Hogan loved doing the fingernail rake. Oh yeah, there's the big scar on his hip. Can't forget about that. That would be awesome. Steven Neptune. If you were taking an Alcatraz tour and Piper is in the cell screaming incoherently, hell yeah, you get your money's worth if you ask me. I'm like, take me back to Piper. I want to go back to Piper. Like, I don't really believe in like ghosts and hauntings and shit, but I don't think I could spend the night in Alcatraz. I think I'd be too freaked out. I'm like, nope, too many ghosts. Or some like abandoned prison, or I couldn't sleep in a graveyard. I couldn't do any of that shit.
Eventually, Piper's going to get his hands on DiBiase.
And now Piper breaking loose here. Fighting for all he's worth. He's pulling his hair out. Pulling it.
Oh, he's pulling what little hair Hogan has. He's pulling it out. I love it. Pull out them spaghetti strands. How, what, biting him? There you go. Classic. He did it. Hmm. Oh, look at him hopping. I wince in pain every time Hogan lands on that hip. All right. As soon as he started taking over on Hogan, we got people out there. Giant is here. Is he going to come help? Oh, no. Yeah, he is. Why is he holding? I feel like the choke. He's not going to get the choke slam off. Oh, my God. There's a fan in the ring. I was wondering why they were waiting so long on the choke slam. Piper was up there for so long, and he's talking to Giant. I didn't realize the fan was in the ring. And there's a sleeper. Piper's sleepers always sucked. He never cinched up on him. There's always so much of a gap between his arm and the chin or the throat. Oh, hey, buddy. This is the end of Hogan and Piper. You want to say hi to everybody? 2. He's gonna tap. Or he's gonna lose, buddy. Hogan's gonna lose. The sleeper. It's the sleeper, bud. And he wins. And he should be the fucking champion. And he's celebrating. We get pyro for him. It's so weird. You wish you could kind of change history. Like, I kind of wish Piper would have won the world title at Starrcade and just held it for a couple months. You know what I mean, Tito? You should get a little further over. They can barely see your face. It's like so close. And here comes the rest of the NWO. Piper's going to fight them all off. Piper beating up the guy who he replaced at WrestleMania 12. Piper beats Hogan. Hogan's out. Get him a Sprite. Tito, Hogan needs a Sprite, buddy. That's what he needs. Needs a Sprite, man. Yeah. Yeah. Who's that guy? Is that Corporal Kirshner? I think that's Corporal Kirshner. So random. I mean, this is their biggest pay-per-view, you know, and then your main event's non-title. Like, they would rather do that than just give Piper the belt for a short time. Like, how many times did they do that with Hogan where he lost the title but then won it right back? That's all they had to do. They did it with Sting the next year. Oh, yeah. Giant's starting to rebel. Don't you touch me, boy. Yeah, I guess they're going to... The brief Giant in the NWO experiment is about to end. Okay, so the next night on Nitro is where they end things with the Giant. They're blaming Giant for Hogan losing. Give me a break. What a bitch. Where's Vince? Hogan sucks chance to close out the show. Love it. They're calling for Virgil to come out here with the belt. Hogan must pose even in these days. Yeah, somebody pointed out he wasn't using Hendrix yet for his theme, so still the NWO classic porn music here for... There he is. There's his belt. Now I'm going to celebrate with it. Look at him now. He's like, I killed you. I'm the champion. I won. Oh, and he spits on it. Oh, what a disgust. I don't want to see Hogan's DNA that close to me. Jesus Christ. And Hogan poses, literally poses as they go off the air. That is too hysterical. Oh, my God. So fun. And now we get the credits. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it. Thanks for the fun nearly 5 hours. Thank you for, 5 hours that we spent between the podcast and doing this back-to-back, which was fun. So thanks again for being here on this long Sunday. I'm going to get out of here now so I can go eat some dinner with Elizabeth. It's been a long one, but I appreciate it, guys. You might see me on Tuesday if anything crazy happens with Monday Night Raw tomorrow. If anything nuts happens, I'll come up here and give you guys some sort of review. Got lots of shorts I can work on as soon as I find the time to do that. So keep an eye out. There will be content on the channel this week. We'll be here for the podcast this coming Saturday. And then 1 week from tonight, another doubleheader, Saturday night's main event, John Cena final match review during the day. And we will decide on which pay-per-view to watch next week. I think possibly WWE In Your House Degeneration X. That could be top of the list, but I'll get back to you on that. You guys have a great rest of your Sunday night. Enjoy the rest of the game. Thank you so much for being here for both of these streams. It was a lot of fun. And I'll be catching y'all real soon. Peace out.